Okay, so just to reiterate, this is the Sidekicks' first ever audio commentary. So enjoy. We are going to be listening to episode 10, Kittens of Chaos, part 3. Everyone ready? Alrighty.
Last time on Sidekicks, I wanted to be a hero. You even begged me to come to this school instead of Evil Academy.
Lightning Bolt didn't teach us anything. I mean, she taught us things, but I want to work with you, Daddy.
Well, I suppose we can put you in the pod thing.
Well, now that we
How can you eat all the time like this?
not hungry, that's fine. One less mouth to feed. Are we thinking sandwiches or sushi? All the other villains stare at Dr. Poison like he's lost his mind. Sandwiches it is. I shall return shortly. Remember our deal, Black Panther. Ashlyn stays safe.
Yes, I know.
Dr. Poison leaves his daughter's life in the hands of the most dangerous villain in Normal City to get sandwiches. All 4 villains turn their attention to Ashlyn, who smiles nervously out of the corner. Cassie and Calvin sneaking over to her device.
It just popped up.
Direction of the older kids.
So, guys, what do villains do while they wait to take their
The brainless dead doesn't have vehicles unless
Painless did.
Now, all of a sudden, you care about what we're having for dinner?
that one's coming.
I hope I get a ham and cheese sandwich.
While
I can't see.
walk in the direction of Bryce, Justice, and Calvin, Ashlyn's eyes widen and she starts to find some excuse to get Redthorn's attention. However, Black Panther does the work for her.
I'm so surrounded by idiots. Redthorn, call Dr. Poison for Hungry and Hungrier and give him their orders.
But mistress, I just heard.
It can wait. I can't think with all these complaints about what food they're getting.
Yes.
Sounds like your house, huh? Sounds like my house.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Let's on the quiet
That
side.
sounds like it's still
Cassie pops up from her hiding spot. Ashlyn waves them towards Bryce, Calvin, and Justice, who are struggling against the rope.
Ashlyn, what are you doing?
stretching? Gotta be all warmed up for the villainy, right?
Black Panther lifts her brow at Ashlyn. Meanwhile, Derek, Calvin, and Cassie are struggling to get the older kids free. Derek pulls out a pocket knife and cuts the rope. They pull the gags out of their mouths and quietly slip away. Justice mouths to be quiet to the rest of the kids as they tiptoes towards Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind. However, Bryce and Maddie seem to be taking their time because they are reluctant to listen to the class that is much less supernaturally developed than they are. Perplexia, along with Ashlyn, walk over to only Bryce and Maddie.
That's not right. I could have sworn I had 3 little crows and now
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because
It's coming up.
So for those of you who can't see the chat room,
We can. I was like, what the hell?
our actress Maddie, she also plays Maddie, so she's like, who are you talking about, me or the character?
Oh my god. That's confusing.
Wake up Maverick and Cohen, right?
Well, I'm not totally sure how to work it, but
This is my favorite scene to what,
And
right?
we can figure it out together.
Perplexia
I
walks
like this one.
Little does Perplexia realize that all she had to do was release Maverick and Cohen.
Oh no, the wires look messed up. I can fix them.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Do you even know what you're doing?
Sure I do. I help Dr. Poison all the time. Besides, do you really think if we just stand here, Black Panther will be proud of us? We are the newbies of the group. If anything, Redthorn seems to be her favorite. We gotta show her up.
You're right. Redthorn doesn't want to share the spotlight. Well, it's time for her to move over.
Ashlyn smirks to herself and pulls her pliers, changing them to the opposite color, turning them both red. Then Ashlyn walks over to the front of the pod.
I just hit the button, right?
I think so. Let's do it.
What are you guys doing?
I am so angry.
Nothing.
Ashlyn quickly hits the on button and it starts to drain the evil out of Maverick first, and Cohen twitches and his eyes snap open. The liquid that Maverick was stored in turns green, which is an odd shift because the wires are red.
Why are the wires both red? One should be green in order for him to...
Redthorn turns slowly and glares at Ashlyn.
What did you do?
I don't know.
Really? You don't know? Well, let me see if I can jog your memory.
No, really, I don't know. I just changed the wire colors. I didn't know it was going to have an effect on...
I am going to kill you.
Don't you have a manual or something?
Right.
I know. It says
You two have done enough. Don't you dare come near my invention. Both of you, sit over there.
But Croc doesn't know how to function without me.
Sit.
Girls flop on the ground with a defeated look. On the other side of the cellar, Justice, Calvin, Cassie, and Derek are sneaking over to untie Captain Whirlwind and Lightning Bolt.
Oh.
Is much thicker. Yeah, right.
Archie, go away. Archie, quit looking where she's going.
Being held hostage in Super Academia by a group of villains?
Oh my. What's her name?
Does that even matter right now?
No, it doesn't.
Priorities, man.
Yes.
Black Panther snatches the phone from Justice and hangs up. She smashes the phone.
It's such a shame that you don't have any powers. Isn't it, Justice? Not like your sister's Stars and Stripes.
First of all, my powers will come. One day, I think. Second of all, those aren't my sisters. Those are my part.
No one cares. I don't understand how you and Speed Shot are related. She was one of the best villains next to me, of course. And she could have it all, but she gave it up to be a loser.
I'm telling her you said that.
Don't you dare! She turned to Speed.
How is that even a thing?
I don't know, but I'm not interested in finding out.
I'm asleep. I fall asleep listening to this podcast every now and then. I'm gonna go to bed.
It's Cassie, and whatever she's doing is causing her pain.
Sometimes, yeah.
Growing out way longer than expected, since it hasn't been 4 weeks. It wraps around Black Panther's leg, causing her to drop Justice.
She dropped Justice.
Hope not on her head.
I never heard of Justice.
Justice got hurt.
Justice.
Lexia to their own devices as she goes to attempt to save Black Panther. At the same time, Bryce and Maddie are busy battling.
Can you imagine Justice a baby? I said, oh my God, he's gonna recatch you.
We gotta recatch you all.
Baby.
It's been so long.
Baby.
Why would they drop a baby?
Just give up. You aren't going to win. You're only kids.
Only.
Kids?
Maddie and Bryce give each other a look and grasp hands. They both speed around Crocodile. Bryce uses his free hand to spit ice out at Crocodile. Since his skin is like that of a crocodile, he laughs as he lifts his ice-covered feet.
The way he transitions that.
Right?
That's
Where we
confusing.
gotta go?
Like that of a crocodile?
On something they have been experimenting with this semester was combining their powers, since they are the two strongest in their class. It hasn't been successful except for once when they were practicing. And considering this has been their first battle, trying to use it again without a clear understanding of what attacks work best on who wasn't the most brilliant of attacks. While Ashlyn has gotten up from the corner that she was supposed to be in and taps the glass case that
Weird.
No, it wasn't me trying.
Oh. I couldn't even see it there again.
Ashlyn, what happened?
Oh my God, you again? I think Bryce and Maddie said you were turned into a bad guy and you tried to kill them, or was it the Perplexity and Croc that you tried to kill them? Either way, they said you were bad now.
Sounds like teenage drama.
I don't remember doing
It sounds
any
like,
of that.
yeah.
The last thing I tried to do was
It
tell
sounds like
my
middle
dad
school
that we
drama.
weren't learning things. She told us we had to see things from the villain's point of view in order to be able to defeat them. But after that, everything goes black.
Everything goes black.
This was a fun episode to do.
His eyes are red, which is a bad thing.
Maverick, I see you brought someone for us to play with.
Huh? Cohen, why are your eyes red?
Ooh, you can play now.
Wait, who is she?
I forgot about her.
Ashlyn, your friend. Not to introduce everyone.
My name is Matt the Blaze.
The Blaze.
The Blaze.
Now is
That's
the
Noah.
hero name, Ashlyn.
You're right. I'll do it later.
I don't think you're a villain in training, Ashlyn.
Ashlyn and
What was your
Maverick
first
fighting
clue?
stance. Cohen and Perplexia, you're the same.
Really? That was your first hint? You can call me Color Code.
The fight begins between Color Code, the Blaze, Bluebird Boy, and Perplexia. Fire erupts from the ground, blocking Perplexia and Bluebird Boy. On the other side, Gronk, Bryce, and Maddie are still fighting.
Bluebird Boy. I was like, wait. About Bluebird Boy.
That's technically Bryce's sidekick,
Bryce steps in and throws it.
but he got brainwashed. Cohen.
No, Eli's Calvin and Bryce. No, wait a minute. You're Bryce. Calvin and Bryce. Maverick. I have too many sidekicks. So, I remember it's the Bryce. Now the Blaze. I'm just call out sidekicks and see who runs down the hall next time.
There you go.
Sidekicks. Downstairs to eat.
Suddenly, the wall of ice breaks, revealing Crocodile, Perplexia, and their new friend, Bluebird Boy. The three kids get to fight.
Yeah, I actually forgot to introduce everyone.
Okay.
So I'll just do it at the end.
Oh, God, I feel like someone hit me over the head with a bat.
It wouldn't surprise me, but you deserve it.
I warned you, didn't I? I said you wouldn't be fond of my plan.
You attacked me with your tornado strike. More of a warning would have been nice.
At least you had some inclination of what I would do.
No, actually I didn't. I had no idea you were going to use
No.
this against me.
Maybe you shouldn't be so
I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
Continues fighting about who was right and wrong in this situation. We check it out Justin, who is fist fighting Red Bull. Sometime during this whole fight, Derek and Calvin helped tie Black Panther up.
Why is everyone so scared of her? We did better than Captain Whirlwind and Lightning.
You. That's you. Like it don't even sound like him anymore.
Right.
His voice is changing.
What I think of myself. You're so cute.
I love her dress.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin the day that you ever met me.
Do you think after this we'll be sent to advanced hero class?
We'll be given our hero certificates after this.
Hey, Dumb and Dumber. Me and Cass are doing all the work.
Wait, who is?
Nobody. One of y'all sidekicks.
In jail, you can be sure that you will be grounded for a week. No videos, candy, or whatever else it is that you like. You'll be eating broccoli until you're dead.
This is the one that made me laugh the most.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to kill her, Derek. I can't kill Captain Whirlwind or the actual bad guy assistant. What color are my powers then?
Derek releases her as Black Panther.
Wait, what?
Ties everyone up. Steelfire and police officers rush into the room, shocked to see that Black Panther and Red Thorn are tied up while Lightning Bolt and Captain Whirlwind are also tied up. Hey guys, welcome to the party.
Wait a minute. How many people did this little sidekick tie up?
I'm not even going.
Oh man.
3, 4?
It's best that you don't.
Let's see.
Have a
Oh
good
no, it was
time.
just Red Thorn and
A sudden blast from the other side of
Black
the cellar
Panther.
alerts everyone's attention. Ashley,
How is he strong enough to type to adults?
Perplexity, and Crocker
He's
know
a psychic. He has superhero powers.
His
He's got
powers
the
are
actual
powers.
superhero powers, though.
leading to a sewer.
He's a child.
What happened?
No.
What? Next time you're in for
Maybe
a
we'll
brawl,
find out.
Dr. Poison looks incredibly confused.
That's what went on.
Maybe that's how he tied him.
dinner.
3 weeks later, all the kids are sitting in the auditorium. With the villains
This is
Black
another good
Panther
scene
and
to
Red
write.
Thorn having been captured and put in jail, Steelfire has agreed to award the students with medals.
This is stupid. Why do we need medals? Why can't we just have our certificates of heroism?
Yeah, we totally kicked butt.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
now for a few announcements.
Okay, I was like,
That was Eli.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so confusing.
Yeah.
5 kids will have your provisional certificates. Next year, you have the ability to shadow any hero you want, along with the advanced hero class. Hey, Lightning Bolt, doesn't that mean you lost your job?
Yeah, I guess it does. But you don't have to sound so happy about it. Wait. That means I can go back in the field and save lives again.
As for a replacement for Black Panther, since she had an extended leave of absence, very extended, congrats to Miss Cambridge, who will not only be teaching the intermediate students, but the advanced students as well.
I'm sorry. What? Why didn't need me once the kids changed classes?
Steelfire gave us a survey of who would like to keep teaching our class.
Of course we would choose you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right?
You're freaking lightning bolt.
That's so sweet, you guys. But wouldn't you learn more from, I don't know, Captain Whirlwind?
Yeah, wouldn't you learn more from me?
Yeah, wouldn't you learn more from him?
That's why we all nominated you as TA.
Yeah, we love you as our teacher, buddy.
TA.
No one cares,
No
Calvin.
one cares, Calvin.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, but I think I'm in line for...
And now for
That was
my
me.
final announcement as dean. I am also leaving for an extended absence. Until I return, I have found a replacement. Please welcome your new dean, Dean Trailer.
What? Where did he come from? Hello, students. I've been watching you for a very long time.
Hey guys, look, it's the dean trailing through.
Maverick,
Oh.
I was like, what? What? You have to say thing? Dang, I'm not sure.
Clears his throat as he looks at his notes. And now for my first official hire. God, this is so exciting. Okay. Please welcome our new sidekick teachers, Miss Callahan and her TA, Mr. Duke, and Dr. Poison's towel boy, Tristan Darcy. Why does he need a towel boy? Why do I need a towel boy? All 3 new teachers step out on the stage. Miss Callahan looks strangely familiar along with her TA. They resemble Perplexity and Crocodile. The only difference is that her hair is a solid shade of black, and Crocodile is in long sleeves and long pants. He's also wearing gloves, which is weird in itself, but let's face it, this whole show has been one weird bunch of circumstances.
Yeah.
This is going to be so much fun. I've never taught a class before.
Me neither. I am enthused.
Thank God we aren't psychics anymore.
Why do I have to be the town boy? I go to one convention and get stuck with the shortest straw.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go learn to, I don't know, save the world or something. As a kid,
Why did we not know what he's doing?
Cohen's eyes flash red before going back
Dun,
to normal
dun,
eye color.
Cass, why is your hair still 8 feet long?
You hear my computer?
I have to keep it that way.
Yes, bring her mic back. Yeah.
It's stuck.
Hurry.
Never made it this long before.
No.
Now I
Let's
can
get
get
back.
back to normal hair length.
Have I mentioned how incredibly stoked
Bring
I
her
am?
right back in.
Again?
Here, hold this on.
Where the hell did that guy come from? Team trailer. What a hack. The job was supposed to be mine.
We do have satellite feet. We got a letter from school going northwest. My sister actually located, but apparently Justice has missed a whole semester. She wasn't actually part of this class.
What? You think I was friendly with a bunch of children? Who would have guessed?
But we were going to sign our costumes together.
What? After you frame me for another crime? Yeah. Thanks.
I know you're disappointed, Ashlyn, but you can design your costume with Cassie. Justice, you could have just told us you weren't enrolled in this school. Man, my sister is in for a surprise. You don't even have your powers.
First of all, I did tell you. I told you every single day that I didn't belong in.
With that, Lightning Bolt pulls out her phone and calls a zipper, and immediately it zips to a school.
There you go. Enjoy your nice school.
No, I wasn't done talking to you. You're not cutting me off. This.
Lightning Bolt ignores her and starts leading her new class to the classroom. Ashlyn runs over to Justice and hugs her tightly.
Sorry I was so mean to you before. You're actually pretty cool. Have fun at your new school.
Ashlyn runs off to catch up with her class, and Justice tears up a little.
You too, kid. You're gonna be something great. I can tell.
This episode was sponsored by Zipper Vehicles. Oh, this isn't a written one. This episode was sponsored by Zipper Vehicles. Need to zip somewhere? Call a zipper vehicle, and we'll zip you to your destination.
The zipping puns.
Zipper Vehicles.
You're rambling on that
And if you
so
would like
much.
check out our Patreon link below, on our Facebook page, and everywhere else. As always, have a super day, and hopefully by next season, I'll have a better catchphrase.
Better catchphrase.
Fun. Yes. So, you guys have any questions for me about the writing or anything, or
The next.
season, whatever?
Krista, any questions? You have a question, Eli?
I have a question.
You have a question? Okay, go ahead. Krista, your question. Go ahead.
Wait. First, because I may put this on YouTube. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Krista. I'm the creator of Sidekicks. I also play Miss Cambridge, also known as Lightning Bolt. And I also play Cassie in episode 7, 8, and this episode 10. Or 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wait a minute, did we hear her in this one?
I think we.
She has alter egos and personalities. Do it. Like, want to introduce yourself, Papa? We'll just go down the line for y'all.
Yeah.
I'm Noah Krywsinski, and I play Maverick, who's known as the Fry, but now known as the Blaze.
Right, Eli?
I'm Calvin, also known. Wait, what's mine also known?
You're Bryce.
Oh,
No, he's
he's Derek.
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah.
And Karen. You're Bryce.
Did you
I'm
say
Calvin.
Derek?
I told you I have too many sidekicks in this house.
Okay.
But Fry sticks to me for some reason. Just the Fry. Okay, you ready? Let's try this again. And action.
I'm Elias, and I play Calvin and Derek. Yeah, Derek. Wait, is it
Yes,
Derek?
Derek and Calvin.
Okay, Derek and Calvin.
Yes.
I'm Gideon Krywsinski. I was literally trying to remember who I was. I'm like, wait.
Who am I? See, that's why I call Bill.
What is life?
Which one?
Yeah, you're Bryce.
Bryce.
No, you're just playing Bryce.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
No,
Bob?
you're Bob. Bryce is Bob.
I heard you say Bob. You said Bob.
You're Gideon and Bryce.
I'm Gideon Krywsinski. I play Bryce. Also,
You do. I just don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible writer.
no.
I can't remember. It's too many sidekicks in my house.
I can't remember. I may have to watch this over again. I can't remember.
You have to
Or next
listen to it
time.
again.
Oh wait, it just came to me. Colonel Cold.
Colonel Cold. Wait a minute. That must be in episode 10.
I think it was episode 4, the dodgeball episode. Yeah, it was before Gideon played Bryce.
Okay, that's why
They
I
were
don't know him by that.
introducing themselves to Miss Cambridge.
Okay. So wait a minute. He's called Common Cold?
Colonel Cold.
Colonel Cold.
Why did he go?
Wait a minute. So his powers
is ice.
Is ice.
So that's who the Fry was fighting.
No.
In this episode?
No,
episode.
Bryce was fighting Croc.
In this episode?
Yeah.
No, I think
I thought someone froze someone in this episode. No.
Yeah,
No, I think that was episode 8. I think that was episode 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was early.
I think it was
in the
8.
films.
He
Yeah, I
was
think it was
fighting
8.
Maverick.
Okay. Oh, that's when you know what happened.
Yeah.
That we can't say to the other viewers who needs to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, I gotta watch all
You
the
have to tune in. We're not going to tell y'all anymore. Subscribe.
Subscribe, exactly.
Right? Like, subscribe.
Hit the bell for
Repost,
notifications.
share. Hit the bell for notification.
Exactly. Okay, what's your question, Noah?
The question is, what inspires you for each episode's script?
Oh. Well, for these first 10 episodes, one of my friends, he came up to me one day. It was when I was in college, and he just sat at my table. He's like, and he likes to ask me like random questions all the time. So this random one was like, "Hey, Christa, what would it be like if there was a show of superheroes, but they had like really bad superpowers?" And then I was like what? And he's like, "I don't know, give me one." And the first one I thought of was, because I was sitting across from the cafeteria, and my favorite food is fries.
Fries. I didn't do it.
Yes.
Wait,
The Fry was the first.
Then where's mine?
A superhero that makes the best fry. He's like, okay. And I was like, but he can't do anything else. That's it. It's just the perfect fry. And he's like, but how is that a bad power? And I was like, it's not a bad one, but it's not a useful one. Like, when you're fighting.
If you get hungry, it's useful.
Yeah, like, only thing that's really useful for.
It's good for road trips and stuff.
During quarantine.
Yes, quarantine.
You're best during quarantine. You can make French fries.
You don't have to.
Do you have a question? No, Eli?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when was mine made? Like, when did you get the idea for my character?
When I actually decided to write the series, because when I thought about the perfect fry. Like a few days later, I was like, that would actually be a really good script or a cartoon or something. And I asked my friend, I was like, hey, can I use your idea? He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to write it, whatever. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. And I was taking a script writing class at the same time. So it kind of helped me work on script writing as well. So I would say maybe about 2 weeks later, me and my other friend, her name is Alex or Allie, we were sitting around and I told her about the idea and she was like helping me come up with things. And then like, I hate math. So I was like, exactly.
I hate it. It's like,
I was like, what
I
if,
hate math too. I do not like no math. I think
what if I could count things accurately? What if this kid could count things accurately? I mean, that's not going to help him in any kind of way unless like the villain has a jar of beans and he's like, haha, the only way you can stop this bomb is you tell me how many beans are in this jar. But other than that, it's not going to be helpful. So like a few weeks later is when I thought of Mr. Countdown or Calvin. And Derek, it was about the same time, about the same day. I was like, there has to be a kid in there that knows what he's doing, but he's really cocky about it. And that's Derek.
That's him with robotics.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
Of yourself.
No.
No? Okay. In a minute.
And his power is telekinesis.
Ah.
Yeah. So he can like control things with his mind. When he lifts his hands because he's a kid, he doesn't realize he can do it just with his mind. So he lifts his hands like in the first episode when he's choking Maverick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
So he knows he has an idea of what he's doing. Like he knows what he's doing, but he doesn't have a good sense of morale.
Okay.
And then like I said, he doesn't realize he can do this stuff like without lifting his hand because that's going to tell the villain what he's going to do anyway. So
yeah. Okay. So it's your favorite horror movie, Carrie?
It's my favorite music. It's one of my favorite musicals, actually.
Carrie, okay, because I was getting a little Carrie feeling with the whole evil telekinesis.
Powers. I actually don't know if that's where I got it from. I don't know where I got it from.
Yeah.
I just needed a dark, because everything was so happy-go-lucky with the kids. I needed that slightly dark character.
Yeah.
And that was Derek.
Yeah. Gideon, you have a question? Oh, Bryce, do you have a question?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay.
So, like, for your inspiration part, what inspired you to, like, make them kids, basically?
Well, I think I did it because a lot of the things you see now, it's like with the Flash, he's out of college, just graduating college. There's not a lot of things for kids. Superhero wise, I mean, there's a few cartoons out there now that have kids in them, but it's not a lot unless it's like anime. So I think that's what did it. I wanted something different. I didn't want someone to be like, oh, that's just like, I don't know, The Flash or something like that. Or like Disney. Disney does it a lot. And I've had a few people that have read the script. They're like, oh, it's like that Disney movie, So yeah, it's just not a lot of things for kids out there. And my friends, they listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of it is like R-rated, not kid-friendly. And I didn't think that was fair because that means kids will go on to like Apple Podcasts, or Spotify and listen to this stuff. and then like their kids don't know what, or their parents don't know what they're listening to and all that jazz. So I thought it would be just something fun they could listen to that they enjoy.
We enjoy it. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I have another question.
Sure. Oh, and one more thing. In the chat, just for everyone to know, we do have our actress Maddie, who also plays Maddie in the series. Maddie is the one that's like, oh my God, you guys, what are you doing? Sorry, Maddie, that's my best impression of you.
I don't know if that's accurate though. I also play Red Thorn as well.
Yeah, she also plays Red Thorn.
Yes, Overthrow. We don't need any cats in here.
No. Down with the cats.
Yeah.
So everyone, that was Maddie.
Yeah, that was me. But I mean, there's going to be a commentary episode with us later, so I'll leave it to you guys to do your thing.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thankfully, I was not busy playing Persona 5, so I'm here.
Okay, what's the next question?
And my question was, it's about the powers.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts with like Maverick's case, how his power swapped after the machine. Does he still have his fry power or no?
His powers actually swap. They didn't really swap. And it actually happened after episode 4. During the dodgeball episode, his powers kind of evolved. I'm not going to go into it in case like anyone listening to this wants to listen. But they evolved after episode 4. I don't know if you remember that after episode 4, he switches classrooms to the advanced hero class. And I don't really touch on it too much, like him being in the classroom, because I had to kind of level up the other sidekicks to be able to fight in that last battle. Otherwise, it's going to be like, well, I thought Ashlyn couldn't reverse anything or control like what colors she turned. So I had to like kind of pick and choose. I was like, but that's why in episode 8, I kind of focus more on the advanced hero class, just to show, okay, he hasn't really actually been learning anything in that class. Mm-hmm. I hope that answered that. Any other questions?
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I know, we've been doing this audio drama for some time, and I noticed now that you are kind of taking the comic realm with, uploading to Webtoon. So I wanted to know were there any other plans, or like how much further did you want to take this comic? Because this is a good idea, like you said, young kids don't really have this sort of thing unless they're watching anime or Disney. So this is kind of like a new outlet. So I wanted to know, like, what other things would you basically do with the series to gain more outreach for them?
Okay. Well, I'm currently working on season 2 for Sidekicks. So there's that. And then I'm working on the comic, or having someone draw the comic stuff for me while I'm writing that. And then a book series as well is something I was looking into. At some point, I would like to reach out to Netflix or other agencies like that, and hopefully get this turned into a cartoon. My only fear with that is that either they take it from me and then just hire other more well-known people. Mm-hmm. So that's my fear, and that's why I haven't really pushed on it so much, doing a whole bunch of storyboarding yet, because I like my cast, I like being a part of this, and I was always told, like, if you're a script writer, usually if a network takes your stuff, they take your stuff and then you're kicked to the side, you just sold your life's work. So, like I said, just to go back to the question, I'm working on the comic, season 2 for Sidekicks, and a novel. And hopefully at some point, get an animator and put it on YouTube or another video streaming thing to have us do it for animation as well.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions?
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, did you ever want to start making podcasts, like, with your friends and stuff when you were a kid?
Well, when I was a kid, they didn't have podcasts, but I did always enjoy pretending like I was the Little Mermaid or any Disney princess. I love and still love Disney princesses, so I would always like dance around the room and pretend I was that princess. So just to modify your question, I did want to be a princess and I did act like that. And I don't think when I was that age, I realized what I was doing. I didn't think it was like clicking in me that, oh, I want to be a voice actor. I was just like, oh, I want to be Ariel. But yes. Any other questions?
Oh, you what? Did you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you weren't going to go, if you do go into animating stuff, what designs for the characters do you think you might use? For any characters?
Animating?
Yeah.
Well, first I would do Sidekicks. It would be basically the first season of Sidekicks, and then eventually the second season. Yeah, so everybody. I would animate all of us, except for the narrator, because he's the narrator. And that would be hard.
Animate lips.
Right.
Lips in the sky.
He just walks out in a suit and just describes everything that's happening.
Like average Hitchcock. Get a little feel going on.
Okay. So if you guys are done, I'm going to ask you three some questions.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
What was your favorite part of episode 10?
I like the ending. It was a really good ending for the first season. I believe there was no other way to make an ending that was the perfect ending for the first season.
Yay. All right. Who's next?
What about you, Eli? What was your favorite part?
I'm still thinking about it.
Still thinking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. My favorite thing about the series, or episode 10, is how each of the characters became a lot more developed, like at the end of the first season, because then it shows the progress, how they were from the starting to the end of the first season, which shows that time actually went by and you've been there for the whole entire progress of what's been going on.
Awesome. Yay. All right. Your turn.
You just like that.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite line from that episode? He's like, I liked it all.
Yours?
I don't have a favorite. I just like it all.
Okay, I'll accept it. Okay, next question.
It was a good episode. I agree.
It's really hard to write. That's why it took forever to send it to you guys. It's because I was like, okay, the ending has to be strong. I couldn't because I like to have a lot of jokes in every episode, but I had to tell myself, okay, Black Panther is trying to take over the school. I mean, there can be jokes, but it's got to be kind of low key because they got to be focusing on trying to save their school from this villain. And then they've already kidnapped Maverick. Bryce doesn't have his yes man.
No.
So that makes me.
You never mentioned Bryce.
I'm sorry, I got so many sidekicks in this house. Going that way. When they hear Bryce,
like, wait, who's Bryce? Are you Bryce?
Right. I keep wanting to put Eli as Bryce and him as Calvin. I don't know. He should be a Calvin voice. Bryce.
I don't want to be an older kid.
We are all Bryce.
We're all Bryce.
Whatever with Bryce. You're Bryce. You're Bryce. You're Bryce. You're Bryce. I'm Bryce. You're Bryce. You're Bryce.
Everything's going over.
It is a Bryce. My house is truly like an episode of Sidekicks. Mine is the fry making. Yeah, but there's always something interesting in my classroom.
There you go.
So now the sidekicks have inspired a little bit of my classroom.
What are you guys hoping for season 2?
For me, and anything that I would think of is like what would transpire between each of the characters. Like, would there be any quarrel between any of them?
That's a good one. Okay, Eli?
I'm thinking maybe their powers could change again. Maybe not.
Ooh.
I don't know.
That actually
Yeah.
a weird twist.
Right?
They can probably change back. They can change to something else.
Oh,
No.
Interesting. Okay, Noah?
A new villain.
No.
I want to see a new and more powerful villain for the kids to deal with, to learn how they react.
Yes.
Yes.
Says it's her. She's the new villain.
Yes.
Okay. On that note, season 2's villain is in episode 10.
Okay.
Who do you think is the villain?
Okay. Before the kids answer, I wanna put in an input before they answer, because I noticed we do have one dark sidekick. I'm not gonna say who, but I'm pretty sure my sidekicks kind of know which one I'm talking about, and you do too. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm thinking maybe he's not a sidekick after all. Maybe he's more villain.
Ooh. Okay. What do you guys think?
Now I got them stumped.
I have to agree wholeheartedly on that one. Like, I'm not gonna say much, but I mean,
Eli. What? Right.
This is gonna be a joke now. Everybody's gonna want to do that.
Every channel we do, introducing our villain, Bryce.
Bryce.
Nothing.
Wait, he's the hero and the villain.
That means you're causing the problem, and then
Solving the problem?
Yeah.
Wait, no. What if there's two Bryce? A good Christ? I mean, a good Bryce. I'm sorry, I messed up. I mean, I want a good Bryce and like a small evil Bryce. That's probably what Eli means by it's Bryce.
Do you have any one inside the psychics yet that actually shapeshifts? That take forms on other people?
Ooh.
I don't think
That we know of yet.
The only one who would have been able to do that was actually Black Panther because she's a cat shifter.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
So that means Derek is half cat shifter. But I haven't really looked into whether he can shift into a cat.
Now there's she wonders if
I'm gonna text you something because I don't want to put it out there yet, but something just clicked in my head. But I'm not gonna tell it because his auntie and cousin have not finished listening to the episode, so I don't want to spoil it. But I just clicked on something, but I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I literally just put something together in my head, so I don't know if.
And I actually forgot throughout the whole series that he was half cat shifter. I could have totally used that.
How about in season 2?
Maybe season 2 you can.
Maybe, yeah.
In one episode, he shifts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
one of the little things that caught my attention now when we were talking about like someone shapeshifting, something like that, is if someone were to be able to just like touch someone and then be able to clone that and then hide somewhere and then use that clone to manipulate stuff and then they're able to see through that clone, but then they can do lots of stuff with just the clone and then hide somewhere and then.
So they're controlling the clone.
Yeah, it makes it
the powers of the person too.
Yes, but it would practically do nothing because it's only like just something that you can see only.
I'm gonna have to fire my co-writers and just hire Gideon.
He's creative.
The Bryce.
The Bryce.
The Bryce.
Yeah.
So no other ideas of who the new villain might be?
I think we might have more than one new villain. Eli keeps pointing to Bryce.
Eli's like, no, it's totally Bryce. It's always gonna be Bryce.
What did Bryce do that was evil?
I mean, from a human standpoint, he bullied the sidekick class until the end of episode 8. So I mean, that is something wrong that he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's like villainy enough. Like, I don't think that's just like I would just say mediocre compared to like what an actual villain would possibly do.
Exactly.
Like, or it's even like a new villain, just like someone starting out, like kind of like a psychic form, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you destroyed anything.
Not like I broke down the whole school.
I think they almost did.
Wait, yeah.
I think that happens in season 2.
Yeah. I just can't wait for season 2.
And it season 2.
I want to watch webtoons.
Oh no,
Yes, webtoons is good.
Something random about superheroes. How do they pay for all the damage that they cause?
They don't.
Oh God, yeah.
Exactly. How do heroes pay for all that damage?
I don't know. They don't because they're heroes.
I mean, they probably can't make the villain for it because sometimes the villain just disappears.
You guys say hi to me?
That's true.
So who pays for the damage?
I don't know.
Miss Cambridge.
I know. Please.
Oh God, I wonder if like taxes go up just for like the time that makes the,
Here, I'm gonna give you a question, Eli. Come here. Ask Christa this.
So where exactly do the psychics actually live?
Oh, okay. What are my profiles? Because they all live in different areas. I know Derek lives in Evil Ridge because his mom, I don't know if anyone picked up this, but I'm going to tell you because it's not really a secret. After the last episode, and I just told you too, Black Panther is Derek's mom.
That's what I was going to text you. I was going to text you that privately because you said cat twister, your cat.
Yeah. I kind of already gave it away. Yeah, Black Panther is, and I gave a little bit of a hint to it in episode 2 or 3, and the super historical facts when they're talking about how he goes home and his mom. But in that episode, her name was Barbara, even though that's not her name. That's just what he calls. That's what he calls her, Barbara, because he doesn't like her. But like when she's like off being a villain, she like leaves him his favorite food. She'll buy him like a video game console or video games. And then there's another episode where Miss Cambridge, she's talking to Dean Stillfire, and he's like, oh, his mom he's talking about Derek's mom, and she's like, oh, Barbara, and he's like, what?
Hold on.
So, you have a question?
Actually, me and my mom, we were thinking about when you guys were talking about villains. So, and our head just popped up about how you used to pretend to be like princesses when you were a little kid. So we were thinking about if there was like a new character that was a princess, but everyone thought that she was nice, and then she turns around to be a villain.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna write that down. I like that. I love surprises.
Wait, I actually have another question.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever have a return of any old villains, like from season 1?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's actually in the first episode of season 2.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's not going away.
Redthorn's not going away.
Who? That was one of the villains. Who?
Redthorn, she was the one that in episode 10 she was yelling at Ashlyn and Perplexia for
Redthorn is staying forever.
Oh no.
That was literally the last text.
Yeah.
It said Redthorn is staying forever.
Wow. Yeah. The last text.
Yes.
So yes, there will be villains from this season that will be in next season. Maybe not like as prevalently as they were this season, because they were the main villain of this season. But they will be in there, even if it's just like their character is there, but they don't have a line, whatever. They're still in the show. And then to go back to the question of where the sidekicks are from, like what area? Hold on. I'm pulling up my documents.
Let's take a fast small seat right there.
No.
Put your legs down.
I don't want to be blind.
I could be blind. Take up a
Your dog's staring.
Maverick is from Normal, California.
Hey.
Yes.
Like how you said Normal, California.
Ashlyn lives in Evil Ridge because her dad is Dr. Poison. So
There's two.
So Derek and Ashlyn's from Poison Ridge.
No, Evil Ridge.
Oh, Evil Ridge.
Poison is part of.
I just
the
gave
name
you
for
a new
Dr.
city.
Poison.
Sorry, I was trying.
Calvin is from, hold on, let me see who his parents are. I didn't write that down. Okay. I'm just gonna make it up on the fly because I actually didn't write that down. I would say just based on his powers, he's from Normal.
Wait,
Normal, California.
Yeah.
wait, remember what you said? How you said if there's, because she said normal California. He said, is there an abnormal California?
That would actually be Superville, which is where all the heroes are born. So here's a little bit of lore. I don't and it was also mentioned in the earlier episodes in the historical facts. When a villain has a child, usually they take it to one of the citizens in normal California, and leave it there. And leave the child there in a basket, and then they write on there, "It's your problem now," because they're too busy being villains to actually worry about taking care of their kids. So Dr. Poison decided to keep Ashlyn, obviously. Black Panther, she didn't want Derek, but she kept him anyways because she didn't have the time to just take him somewhere else. She's like, whatever. But there's no true form of attachment for them as there is for Dr. Poison and Ashlyn. Like, they're the best father-daughter. They have the best father-daughter relationship, despite her wanting to be a hero and he's a villain. Bryce is from Superville. Matt is from Superville. And Cohen is from Superville. So the superhero parents usually take care of their kids. Like, they keep them because they're like, yes, they can grow into the next best hero. Yeah. So there you have it. That's where all the sidekicks are from. I don't think I forgot anyone. No, Cassie. Just kidding. Cassie is from normal California.
You're from normal and from dark. Yeah, so you're in the middle.
Middle California.
Yeah, you're in the middle of California.
Does that mean I'm a bird? I don't know.
Maybe.
We have to wait and see.
It doesn't really seem like he's a villain. It just seems more like he just doesn't have any good motives.
No, because Dr. Poison is Derek's dad, right?
No.
Or is it Barbara? No, Barbara.
Barbara is the mother of Derek.
Of Derek.
And because, like, we never seen Derek do anything really evil. I mean, there was a time
choked you. Season 1.
And then he tried, and then
I mean, it was an argument.
And then the first episode that Captain Whirlwind is training them, Derek tries to choke Captain Whirlwind.
Oh, see, so he's the one with the evil telekinesis.
Was like, besides,
you can change for good.
Like, besides that, there's like, he doesn't have his parents around, so like he doesn't actually have people to teach him stuff. Except he has the teachers, but at home he has no one to teach him anything. So it's just like I'm pretty sure it's like he doesn't know what's like good and what's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he just does what he thinks he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's very true. That's good. That's good insight. That's actually exactly it.
So there's
he doesn't have his dad. His dad is a villain. I'm not sure if I'm going to introduce him into season 2 or not. Maybe briefly. I don't know. So his dad is never around, and then his mom just doesn't care. So he's used to getting whatever he wants, basically. Yeah. I have another question for you guys. From Maddie. Do you feel like you have similar personalities with the sidekicks you play?
I feel like I sort of have a same personality with Maverick. I feel like some of his personality is also like mine.
In what way?
I mean, I really don't know. It's just that I feel it's sort of like they're sort of this, like our personalities are sort of the same.
You feel connected?
But I just can't tell why.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Eli?
I don't think I have any.
For one or both?
Yeah, for.
I mean,
For none.
I mean, you are sort of, you're smart like
Yeah, because
Mr. Countdown.
Countdown, yeah.
Yeah, you're smart like him.
Calvin.
Yeah, no, that's his superhero name, Mr. Countdown.
Yeah.
You're smart like him.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of something like his personality that you have.
He's like, okay, whatever. Yeah.
He's like the math. He's just like the math.
You do math, but I can't.
What about you, Gideon?
I would say.
And it's okay if you don't.
Kind of do. It's more of like the I like the quiet tone, I guess, that he sometimes has every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I have that kind of tone like when I'm like tired though, or like it's late and such.
That makes sense. Awesome answers, you guys. Any other questions?
So how old are the characters?
For this season?
I'm guessing.
For this season?
Yeah. So what are their ages?
Okay, I have to look back because Maverick actually ages up for season 2 because Noah is aging up. So
Would that mean that every other character would age up as well, like in the time skip?
yes and no, because they're all different ages. So let's see. Ashlyn is 12 in this series in the first season. So and Maverick is also 12. Let's see. Calvin is 9. Cassie is 9. And Derek is also 9. So Maverick and Justice was actually, I think she was like 15 or 16. So, but she looked like she was younger than that. And that's why they were like super, that's why they couldn't figure out that she didn't belong in the sidekick class, because like at the end of the episode, Miss Cambridge says, "Oh, you're supposed to be at my sister's school." That's a school like that's on the other side of town. She happened to get on the wrong bus and ended up in Superville, California, because that's where the school is. Yeah, so Justice was 15. Maddie, the character, is 13. Bryce is 13. Well, no. 14 or 15. Cohen is the same age as Bryce. So they grew up together, basically. And Bryce and Cohen are like how... No, I don't have a comparison in the sidekick classroom. Basically, Cohen is Bryce's yes man. So Bryce says something, Cohen's like, yeah, exactly.
Get a hype man.
Like in episode 5, I think they were picking on Ashlyn and Cassie and Maverick was there, and Bryce tells him, shut up, Maverick. And Cohen's like, yeah, shut up, Maverick. So that's their chemistry. And that's why Ashlyn calls him Bryce's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. More lore. Any other questions?
Don't think I got any.
Yeah.
Eli's like, I'm ready to go to bed, guys.
It's not even night. He had a long trip.
Okay. Well, if that is all, let's see. Does anyone have any questions that is not Gideon, Eli, and Noah? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I was like, Maverick.
Oh,
Just all the
God.
Bryces and
Good job.
the 3 Bryces.
No.
the 3 blonde Bryce because y'all all wear glasses.
Yeah, it's the 3 Bryces instead of 3.
Oh, no.
Any questions about season 2? I will answer very vaguely.
Knew it.
Yeah, I'll just give you spoilers. Season 2, we're all Bryce.
Yes.
The Venom approach. We are Bryce.
We are the Bryce.
Oh, God.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Will any of the Sidekick kids' parents show up and come visit them, or will there be any romance?
Ooh.
Between the older.
Yeah.
Anyone
No, not
liking
the little ones. The little ones, no.
Yeah, the older ones.
I'm not, as far as, I have to talk to my co-writers about the romance because there was some things I wanted to put in there. But I don't want it to take away from the plot either that we have kind of going on. I will say that there are a few characters, I don't know if you caught on, that have crushes on each other. Yeah, in season 1. If you'll be able to kind of pick it up. Let's see. Parents being in the episodes, only one right now that I can think of off the top of my head. Also, season 2 is not fully completed, so I don't know yet. I don't have full answers, but I'm not writing the season by myself, so it's all about finding a balance of what I want and what ideas they have as well. So. And it's weird for me because last season I wrote everything by myself, so it was like whatever Christa wants, Christa gets, as long as she makes it cohesive.
Yeah. My question, I have another one regarding the Sidekicks.
Mm-hmm.
And not just a podcast, but for the events that have been postponed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if we're still going to be able to have the events, or if maybe one year if the Sidekicks can set up a booth?
I would. The next convention, I would like to set up a booth. I don't know if it's going to be this year because everything's all shaky because of
COVID, Corona.
Exactly.
Just Rona.
I don't even know if like the one that we were going to go to earlier this year, they postponed it till August, but they may cancel it completely. I don't know.
Okay.
Because like San Diego Comic-Con, that was just canceled.
Yes.
Anime Expo, like pretty much every convention was canceled.
Bless you. Sneezed.
Wait, that was a sneeze? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
But
Corona.
I would at some point like to do a booth.
Okay.
I've actually been working on things to put in our booth, like the comic book. I want to get that finished so that by the next time the convention comes, it'll be another way to like build up money for our series. Is if they purchase the comic book, I might do it for $1 since it's not that well known. And like t-shirts and stuff like that. And just like an information booth about the series. So yes, that's my answer to it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, whenever the this whole pandemic is over with, then you do get the booth running. Will you have like the sidekicks out there with you promoting for the booth, or would you do like a signing for the comic book? Or
I think that would be fun. I'm trying to build a base so people will be like, oh, I've seen that series. Yeah, I want a signing. Some people might just do it because they're like, oh, voice actors, cool. I don't know who you are, but it's a free signing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how the word spreads.
Exactly. But remind me of your question again. I'm sorry. I went so off track.
Don't worry. For the for like when your booth open up for the signings, if you're gonna have signings for the comic books, if you're gonna have the sidekicks there, helping, that way everyone is there to support sidekicks that can make it out to help spread the word even more.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys want to help out with the booth, that would be amazing. And I think it would be fun to be like, oh yeah, I voice act in this. You should totally check it out. Here's a t-shirt. It's a free t-shirt. No, the t-shirts are free.
We'll send the cute kid like we did last time.
Me again?
It was so cute.
It was like,
he actually did guilt some people into coming to the panel.
Yeah,
like, how can you
he did. You helped a lot. You did good.
Both of you like came when like you gave them the papers.
Yeah. Couldn't turn down that cute face. I was thinking too, whenever we find out whenever they're going to start reopening stuff, when we get a confirmation for booths, if we can pre-make flyers.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that way I can get them sent out like months early, so that way I can try to get a bigger, maybe, because we had some friends and family that was able to make it out, but if I have like a bigger time frame, I want to be able to try to promote the podcast now, so that way people can get familiar with it, and then push out flyers to where it can kind of bring in more of a younger crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I know I had some of my friends come join, the same that came the year before.
Yes, and we love them. Noah loved them.
And then one other guy, he joined, and he said like his wife loves the series, and we still talk. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, just as much PR as we can get.
Yes. And the podcast right now is only on Podomatic.
I saw it on the Apple one.
Yeah, Apple, because we got some episodes on Spotify now, right?
Yeah, it's on
Spotify. I said Spotify. I'm so sorry.
We're on Spotify,
And Podomatic.
Podcasts. And then Podomatic, yeah.
Okay, so Podomatic, Apple, because Noah said something about Apple. I was like,
I listened to I'll do my scorecard.
okay, see, so he can make the perfect fry. But he can't fill in his mom. We were on a new app.
I told you about that when we were out one day. Like before.
I'm gonna just blame it on my old age, okay? I'm gonna just leave it at that. Mommy's getting old.
So busy you forgot.
Maybe. So I will push out, like, if we have any of the links.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you can do that now. Hint, Lisa and Iris, if y'all want to subscribe, like, follow these sidekicks.
Exactly. Yeah, guys, subscribe.
And share.
Check out our Patreon. I'm working on stuff like this. It's for Patreon. I think I'll do this one for free so people can look at it and then like be like, oh, I want to see the next one.
Yes.
Hi, did you have a question? Sorry, I'm like multitasking screens. Did you have a question?
Because earlier when you were talking and you're thinking about publicity, and that they're looking for things for their kids to do. And I know that one of my friends who is a teacher was telling me about a field trip. And I was like, a field trip? Where? And she led me to a link that took me to the field trip at the Aquatic Center.
Oh.
And I was thinking, if you had like a link that would take teachers to your Sidekick Center of Advanced Enriched Learning, that the teachers could let the kids go ooh ah at your sample free, or maybe like an edited 10
seconds,
10 I don't know, 10 minute, 5 minute thing. Their attention span's kind of short, but it would start to kind of start a little buzz going, Mom, you know what? If I do that, I get a sticker, a superhero, blah, blah sticker. My granddaughters would go for that, okay? So if they knew they were going to get a sticker or something, and you could put it on, I don't know, electronically, put it on something, you earned a badge, you earned a sticker, then I don't know. Just coming off the top of my head.
That's actually.
But because the kids are an audience that, that are available, but they're very well guarded, part of a segment of your show might be a nice release, and then parents get a chance to go to the bathroom at least, or like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
It's an idea,
Yes. Yeah, because we do the virtual field trips as well. So everybody's Lily. Everybody's. I'm sorry, my cousin's dog here, and she has like issues. She just barks randomly. She's like randomly barks at things. But with all the kids being home at quarantine, I know they're getting bored. So if I can set up a Krista, you froze.
Am I moving now?
No, we see you moving here, but you're still smiling at me on the big one. You're just frozen.